Hey everyone, this is Pontus at Björn's Colorado Honey. So we're gonna install some bees and I'm gonna show two different ways of doing it. So this is a bee package. There's two ways of getting bees. One is in nukes, that would be with frames and queen and brood and larva. And another way is like this, which is a package of bees. So this is roughly 3 pounds of bees. They come in different sizes together with a queen. And I'm gonna lead you guys through how we do that here. So for this, you're gonna need a knife. You're gonna need a sprayer of different kinds. I have like a lawn garden sprayer like this. But you can also have just a little hand pump where you can spray with. You need a marshmallow per package, or half a marshmallow per package. And then we're gonna put feed on today. And we're gonna put our honey supers on as well. So we're gonna install these two beehives here. So, this up. So you guys that watches my videos, you know that I use a rapid feeder that sits on top, so that's what we're gonna use. Alright. So I normally take out 3 frames, or even 4 actually in this case. I take out 4 frames. That gives me enough room to dump in the bees. So the first way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna dump the bees in. And the second way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna leave the package on top of the hive. So if you come up a little closer, I'm gonna show you the different compartments that we have here. So this is the feed. This is what the bees been living on, being shipped to your location. And this is the end of the queen, this little metal flurp that we have there. So the way that we do this, I have just pure water here. I'm gonna just make sure I have a good gentle spray. You don't want to spray too much. You want to be very gentle. The only goal with this is to have the bees from not flying. You want to make them to one kind of unit, but you don't want to drown them. So you want to be very gentle on the water. You don't need much, but you go in and give a little bit on each side, just like that. Give them just a gentle little note, and then put a little bit on top. Then I think with a hive tool or the knife, you can get the can out, just like that. This one is actually empty. And since I sprayed them, they didn't really come out now. I put that back. Make sure that the queen is alive inside. So you want to see the queen moving inside here. That's how you know that she's alive. Then with your knife, most of the times, there's some different ways the queen comes. But in this case, the queen comes with a cork in one end. So now you want to be extremely gentle. You want to keep looking at the queen. It's super easy to pinch her with your thumb. So when she's walking away from the cork, you take it out and you put your thumb over the hole. But just let her wait till she's walking away from you. You want to be very gentle. It's very easy to pinch her there. All right, so you get the cork out. I have a mini marshmallow that I split in 2. This is going to be a so-called fast release. It's going to take probably the bees a day or 2 to release her out. So I'm gonna exchange my thumb for this marshmallow, just like that. And again, just make sure that when you're working in the hole, make sure that she's walking away from you. All right. Perfect. So we have the marshmallow in the hole. It's going to do 2 days, a day to 2 days for the bees to consume that. The queen is in the hive. Would be the time to mark your queen if that's what you want to do, but I will not in this case. All right. So in the bottom of the box, I will insert the queen. I'm gonna put her with the sugar down. I know some beekeepers tells you to put the sugar up, but if it would get hot or if this sugar would melt for any reason, I want it to drip away from the queen. I don't want it to cover the queen. The bees are still gonna consume consume this and let her out. Most importantly though, the netting, it's extremely important that the netting is reachable by the bees. So as an example, you do not want to put the netting against the frame like this, because then the bees don't have the ability of feeding the queen through the net. So make sure you insert the queen like this in the beehive, so it's easy accessible for the bees to feed the queen. You will lose the package, or you will lose the queen if you do this wrong. All right, so you take the little metal flurp and you bend that through. Actually gonna use one of these right here, so it's gonna be like this, and I'm gonna use one frame to make sure, but it hangs pretty good there, so you can get a video on how I do that there. Perfect. Now I am gonna take one frame and make sure it's kind of pinched in there, and I have the opening of 3 frames. I'm gonna take out one more just to make it a little easier for me. All right, so now the package that we're working with, again, I'm gonna just give them a little hit, and I'm gonna spray them down because I don't want them to fly too much. Again, just be gentle. All right, and take my hive tool, and I open up the box like that. Gives me a big, nice opening. Just like that. That's perfect. And just a little bit more. Now I can open up this whole side, and I can gently dump them in. Just like that. And I'm gonna leave this, the other bee's gonna come in. Take my hand and very simply make sure I'm not crushing any bees when I reapply the frames. These guys are gonna sit on 2 full the dents here, and we're gonna have a queen excluder, which I'm gonna have to go and get one, I see. But we're gonna get a queen excluder, and then we're gonna get honey supers on right away. And I always like to put my honey supers on straight on. It's a little bit of a professional move because it saves me a little bit of trips. Get that on. I would get my rapid feeder on, or whatever feeder you guys decide to use. You could of course do this with an in-hive feeder. And this is 4 parts sugar and 4 parts water. And that's what's going to pull them up and make them strong and healthy. Lid, and one is done. The second way I want to do this is going to be to leave the box on. So again, I'm gonna open up my hive. It's gonna happen. So this is actually gonna happen on the top. Sorry, miss. So it's gonna be like this. We're gonna go in. I'm gonna take one of these frames out. A little bit of sugar there from a previous hive. It's gonna be fairly similar to the last. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking the can out so I can get the queen out. A little bit of water just to make sure they don't fly out on me. Like that. This time I'm gonna dip the queen to make sure I get some worker bees on the cage. Doesn't need to be many, just like that. Again, make sure that the queen is healthy and she's moving around. And you see her right in there. I'm gonna get some more bees on there. You see her there. Now, the cork. The other way that you can get queens is that it's filled up with hard sugar. And in that case, you want to make sure that you open the plastic piece that holds the hard sugar in. It's instead of filling up the way we're doing with marshmallow here. It comes with sugar in the cage. Alright, so I need my little marshmallow. Get this out. Have to scrape this out here. It's the actual sugar that's the important part. So the bees have something to consume to get her out. We're gonna fill this hole up. We wait till she walks away from us. So, we're gonna get the queen in here. We're gonna apply her to the corner of this hive. Gonna get some bees on her real fast. You can lift this up for us. The bees are just there to ventilate and be able to tell where the queen is. I'll push that over. I'm gonna apply this 9th frame, just like that. So the queen is right there. Now, just take the frame, put that over. Then you take a dadant. You apply that just like that, and you put the lid back on, and she is done. The main difference between these different systems is that what we just did here is more labor intensive. When we go out professionally, we do what we did on the first beehive, because we do not have to come back here. On the second beehive, we will have to be back in a day or two, and we're gonna have to take this empty box out. If there's any bees left in the cage, we shake them in, and then we will put honey supers, and we will put sugar water on at that time. As said, we do use the first alternative. That's because it takes less work. But the second alternative here is a little bit less of handling the actual bees. Again, if you guys have any questions, let us know, and I would love to answer them. Please share this video. A lot of your guys' friends cares about bees, and we like to answer their questions. And yeah, hook us up. Try some honey next time you see us. Thank you.